Yo, what's happening, fellow do-it-yourselfers? It's Scott. Welcome back to OG DIY, and I'm out my driveway. Yesterday, I was doing the same thing, came out here, and I noticed when I started up my vehicle, one of my tires, because I always have on my center gauge what my tire pressure looks like. I kind of cycle through those to make sure that everything's in good shape. One of my tires was about 5 pounds too low. Let me show you. Getting close to 100,000 miles. So these tires are cold right now, but you can see that left rear or driver's side rear is 33 pounds. I keep them all around 36, 37 pounds is where they usually are. My spare's a little low, but it's where they usually are before they warm up. So, visual inspection time. So upon doing a visual inspection, and by the way, the tire pressure wasn't that terribly low. So I thought, I wonder if it's just low from the real cold fluctuations we've had. And then I noticed right here, I ran into a curb. So doing that can actually pull your tire seal away from the rim, and you can let go of some air. It's usually not that amount of air. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna air them up and see whether or not that holds. So this morning I find that the pressure has not in fact held. So something else is going on. And here is that something else. Bingo. We got to get this thing out and get it patched. All right, so now you got a nail in your tire. Now what? So I've been through this before, and there's multiple avenues you can go down. Number one, you can call your service. If you got AAA roadside service, they'll come out, right? Kind of shoot your day, because sometimes, depending on where you are in a metro or out in the boonies, it can take all day to solve, or they can be there in an hour or two and get you back up on the road again. Or you can limp your way into a tire repair store. It can be a little dangerous. Anytime you got an underinflated tire, your vehicle operates kind of differently, not the way it should. And then the other option is based on experience I've already had in the past. I've done this now a number of times in my vehicles, is you keep a little repair kit with you. Let me show you what I'm talking about. You know, that one avenue I forgot is that you just you get to your jack that's in your vehicle. You jack that tire up and you take it off, and then you get your spare out. Hopefully it's aired up to an appropriate level. Or if it's in my vehicle, I've got aftermarket wheels on 4 of my wheels, and then I've got the original sized wheel in the spare location. And I have an all-wheel drive vehicle. Can't do that. So I need to solve that. That's a different issue. So for me, it's repair it as it sits there right on the road, which is what we're going to do. So each one of my vehicles has got one of these repair kits. So whether it's a nail or it's a screw or something of that nature, you've got pliers that you can yank it out with. You have this reaming tool. I'm going to show you how to use this stuff that you have to clean the hole out with. This is some lubricant that when you apply it to this and you put your vulcanized rubber into that location, you can push it in easier and pull it out. And then they give you a straight edge to clean it off. This whole kit, my memory, was under $20, and I bought one of these for each of the cars. And this comes with really handy full color instructions on how to repair it with the kit. Every vehicle ought to come with both a way to jump your vehicle if you've got a starter battery problem, or a way to air up your tires. And in this case, this does airing up the tires, and I've got another thing that will help me jump my battery if I run into a situation. This also has emergency light, and it happens to be able to blow up all kinds of things like beach balls and basketballs, footballs, whatever. Anyway, you ought to have something like this in your car at all times in order to help manage some of these situations that come up, unfortunately, from time to time. Go. We'll lose our air here in a minute. Wow, that's a big one. Holy cow. Not going to really need to ream that one out because that's a big hole. But let's just do it right now anyway. And then let's get this. These are really sticky. And if your kid is old, let's see how well this comes out of here. Be the hardest part of the whole thing right here because of how sticky it is. Okay, we're going to put some of this lube in here. That'll help. It's too much. There you go. Get this in there. Good. Okay. Pull that sucker back out. So you hang on to that as you're pulling it out, and this is a prong right there. That prong opens up and allows this to stay, which is that vulcanized rubber. And that's it. You can see the air. You can hear that the air has stopped and that we have a patch, on the road patch. Next thing you're going to do is take that straight edge right here, and you're just going to cut this excess off. And as you're driving, the rest of this will take care of itself in terms of there we go. That patch is in there. Again, the road and wear will handle the rest of that. All right, let's air it up. Set this to 38 pounds. there. It's going to get loud, so here we go. All right, we're there. 38 pounds, it went to 38.4, and some of that will escape, which gets you close to 38 when you disconnect your air hose. A handy little unit. Now, because I'm at home, I got the luxury of just double checking this with some Dawn dish soap and water, a little spray can. And if you get bubbles, you got a problem. But these hold so well, these vulcanized rubber strips. I've never had a leak after I've patched them, as long as you patch them correctly. And that one's good. All right, what did we learn? We learned, number one, that you should subscribe and like this video and hit that little bell so that future videos on OG DIY, you can get them quickly delivered to you. That might help you with your vehicle or around the house or whatever to-do items that you need to figure out. Number two, you should have a tire patch kit, a way to inflate your tire. And those things should be carried around with you at all times. Now, if you don't have the capacity or ability to, put a plug in your tire, you're probably not watching this video, so I'm not worried about that. You've got the skill and know-how to do it, so it's really inexpensive. It's very convenient. Certainly safety first in all circumstances. If you get a nail or a screw or something in your tire and you're near any sort of traffic situation, be very careful there. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for checking in on OG DIY, and we'll see you on the next one. Be good. Bye-bye.